Let's rewind to 1964. The Beatles were taking over the airwaves, but on the streets, something else was making waves: the Pontiac GTO. Known as the car that started it all, the GTO wasn't just a game changer, it was the game. Here's the story. Pontiac engineers John DeLorean, Bill Collins, and Russ G had a crazy idea. They took a mid-size Pontiac Tempest and stuffed it with a 389 cubic inch V8 engine, giving it a staggering 348 horsepower. The result? A car that could do 0 to 60 in just over 6 seconds. But it wasn't just about the speed. The GTO had a name that screamed race car, inspired by the Ferrari 250 GTO. And while it wasn't Italian, it had all the swagger. It was affordable, powerful, and marketed directly to the youth of America. Pontiac sold over 32,000 units in its first year, and the muscle car era was born. Ask yourself, where would muscle cars be without the Pontiac GTO? This car didn't just open the door, it kicked it down and invited everyone to the party. Fast forward to 1969. Muscle cars were dominating the streets, but one car was about to dominate the silver screen. Enter the Dodge Charger. With its bold, aggressive design and a choice of powerful engines, including the legendary 426, the Charger was a beast on the road. But what really set the Charger apart was its star power. Remember Steve McQueen's Bullet? That legendary car chase through the streets of San Francisco? The Dodge Charger RT was the villain that stole the show. And let's not forget the Dukes of Hazzard, where the orange General Lee Charger became a cultural icon. Beyond its Hollywood fame, the Charger represented the pinnacle of Dodge's muscle car lineup. It was big, bad, and unapologetically bold. Even today, its legacy lives on in modern Chargers, which pay homage to their ancestors' raw, untamed spirit. Now let's talk about the 1967 Shelby GT500. When Ford introduced the Mustang in 1964, it created a new class of car, the pony car. But Carroll Shelby wasn't satisfied with just fast. He wanted to create a performance legend. The GT500 was born from this ambition. Powered by a 428 cubic inch Police Interceptor V8, it produced 355 horsepower, though many believe that number was underrated. The GT500 wasn't just about straight-line speed, it was about handling too. Shelby transformed the Mustang into a high-performance machine that could dominate the track. And then there was the look. With its racing stripes, aggressive stance, and Shelby badging, the GT500 was a showstopper. It became an instant classic and a dream car for enthusiasts everywhere. To this day, the Shelby GT500 is synonymous with American performance and racing heritage. Fun fact, the GT500 was nicknamed Eleanor in the 2000 remake of Gone in 60 Seconds. It's a car so cool it became a movie star in its own right. The year is 1970. The muscle car wars are at their peak, and Chevrolet decides to unleash a monster. The Chevelle SS454, particularly the LS6 variant, wasn't just powerful, it was terrifyingly so. With a 454 cubic inch V8 engine cranking out 450 horsepower, this car was the most powerful muscle car of its era. The Chevelle SS454 didn't just dominate in a straight line, it looked the part too. Its aggressive front end, dual racing stripes, and cowl induction hood made it one of the most intimidating cars on the road. It was the car you didn't want to see pulling up next to you at a stoplight. But what made the Chevelle so influential wasn't just its raw power. It represented the peak of the muscle car era, a time when automakers pushed the limits of performance. Sadly, it was also the beginning of the end. Just a few years later, rising insurance rates and stricter emissions regulations would put the brakes on the muscle car craze. Still, the Chevelle SS454 remains a symbol of muscle car dominance and an icon of American automotive history. Now, let's talk about the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro Z28, a car that brought racing pedigree to the muscle car scene. Designed to compete in the SCCA Trans Am Racing Series, the Z28 wasn't about straight-line speed. It was built to carve corners and dominate road courses. Under the hood, it packed a high-revving 302 cubic inch V8 engine paired with a 4-speed manual transmission. While its 290 horsepower rating might seem modest compared to other muscle cars, the Z28 was all about balance, agility, and precision. What set the 1969 Camaro Z28 apart was its iconic styling. From its bold front grille to its racing stripes and optional rally sport package, this car looked as fast as it drove. The Z28 proved that muscle cars weren't just about brute force. They could be sophisticated performance machines. Today, the 1969 Camaro Z28 is celebrated as one of the greatest muscle cars of all time, with its legacy living on in modern performance Camaros that continue to push the limits. So, what makes these muscle cars so special? Each of these 5 legends didn't just showcase power or speed, they represented the spirit of their time. The Pontiac GTO kick-started a revolution, the Dodge Charger brought muscle to the big screen, and the Shelby GT500 proved that style and performance could coexist. Meanwhile, the Chevelle SS454 set a benchmark for raw power, and the Camaro Z28 showed us the art of balance and precision. These cars weren't just transportation, they were symbols of freedom, ambition, and innovation. They've inspired generations of car enthusiasts and paved the way for today's performance machines. The muscle car era might have peaked decades ago, but its legacy is alive and well, roaring in our hearts and on our roads. Which one of these icons resonates most with you? Or do you think another car should have made the list? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of automotive legends. Until next time, keep the rubber on the road and the pedal to the metal.